Hello everyone, the Bearded Thumb here. Welcome back to another beer review. If you can't tell from this assortment in front of me here, the theme of this one is American Mega Brews. Now I know there are a lot out there, so the criteria I used for this video was all of the beers that are available in bucket specials at the various bars me and my friends go to, where you can get a bucket of 5 bottles for $12, and that goes for domestics. And when they say domestics, these are your options. So that was the criteria I used for this video. I will explain more about that in the description below, why maybe some others that people may have wanted to see are left out. But anyone who's watched these videos by now knows the rules. I open beer, I pour beer, I smell beer, I taste beer, I talk about beer. And right before I get started here, I'm just going to throw in that I have tasted all these beers before numerous times, but never side by side. With that said, though, I still don't know exactly what I'm going to say, so just going to throw this out there. Any remarks I make pertaining to binge drinking are strictly for satirical purposes and are not to be taken seriously, and always follow all rules about drinking in your local municipalities. So without further ado, let's jump into this review. Dilly dilly. First up, we have Bud Light, and as I have mentioned numerous times through the first two videos, this is one of my favorites, and that is kind of why I'm starting with it, because I want to try and keep this as fair as possible. And since I haven't tried all these beers back to back to back like I'm about to, I don't want this to be at the end and be like the saving grace in comparison. I really do want to try and give this all a fair assessment. So let's crack this open and see what we got. Alright, my new and improved pour technique still led to a little bit of head there. It's pretty much got your standard American beer color, a fairly middle yellow, not too light, not too dark color to it. The smell test is kind of pointless on these. I'm pretty sure they all smell the same. Yep, smells like a basic bitch American lager, so let's take a swig. Oh yeah, damn, that's good. It is a light beer, obviously. Smooth, but I like it that it still has taste. I know there are some other beers that when they say light, they mean fucking light. Like Busch Light from my last video, or not last video, actually, the first video I did technically. I mean, that was pretty much water with a couple drops of beer in it. I like that this still has some flavor, but it is also still very light, very crisp, almost refreshing, dare I say. And that's about it for this one. On to the next beer. Budweiser, an old school favorite of mine. For a couple seasons, I used to drink this exclusively for baseball, because as a Blue Jays fan, I would always drink whatever their primary sponsor was, and their fan deck out in center field used to be called the Budweiser fan deck. So I used to drink this exclusively for a few seasons, and I came to really like it. And let's see if it's as good as I remember. Let's open it up and see what we got. And if anyone wants to point out, yes, I am filling up the cup a little more than I have in previous videos, because I know all these beers are at least drinkable, and I fully plan on polishing off each cup, and then later the rest of the can. So, let's sniff test. Yep, basic bitch smell. Now, time to take a swig. Obviously heavier than the Bud Light, because this is the not light version of it. But really, the taste is still there, very similar in taste. That's kind of going back to why I really do like Bud Light, that even though it's the lighter version of this, it still has that taste. And, I mean, I know they try to boast the calories and all that bullshit with beer. I mean, look, if you're drinking beer, you're not drinking it because you're trying to be healthy. Chances are you're drinking it because you're drinking to get drunk. I mean, if you're someone who's seriously just like, oh, I'm having a casual beer and, oh, I want the one with the lowest carbs, lowest calories, get the fuck out of here. You're so full of shit. But yeah, it's good, but, I mean, honestly, apples to apples, I'd probably go with Bud Light. Only because one thing I do remember about Budweiser is when I did drink it regularly, and when I drink, I usually never had less than 6 bottles during a game, and since I am a Blue Jays fan, and that was some tough shit to watch, usually it was more than that, and it was the only beer that ever gave me a headache the next morning. I don't want to say hangover, because I can boast I've never had a hangover, but fuck did I have a headache the next morning after drinking regular Budweiser. Well, with that said, on to the next beer. Alright, time to rehydrate. We got Coors Light. It has been a while since I had this. I used to drink this a lot shortly after I turned 21. This was the beer that when it was my turn to buy the buckets, I would always buy this one because I just liked it because it was so refreshing. I mean, it almost felt like you were drinking water and sobering up, if I remember correctly. Let's see if I remember right, and let's open it up here. Not as light in color as I would have thought it would have been. I thought it would be more closer to the Busch Light, but then again, when you drink beer out of a dark brown bottle, you usually don't see the color of it, and I am once again using those glasses that aren't probably the best for this. But let's give it the smell test. Kind of smells like water. Let's go ahead and taste it now. You know, through the power of YouTube magic, I actually have a bottle of cold water right here. I'm going to go ahead and add this to the taste test and see how much different it tastes compared to Coors Light. Alright, almost has that Busch Light color to it now. Like I mentioned in the back during that video, you know, adding some beer residue to water. I'm not actually going to drink it because that would be disgusting. But now I'm going to drink this. Okay, definitely doesn't taste the same. That was obviously for satirical purposes. But yeah, Coors Light, what can you say? It's about as light as it comes. But the only thing I think being lighter being Busch Light. It's still a damn good beer. I would not hesitate to drink this at all. All these beers I honestly like. I'm not going to try and rip on any of them too much. I mean, yeah, this one is pretty freaking light, but not as light as I thought it was going to be. I really did think I was going to be making more water jokes about it. But with that said, that's time for the next one. Alright, it's Miller time, motherfuckers. And it is Miller Lite. Probably one of the most annoying ad campaigns with their incorrect spelling of the word light, and also boasting their more taste, less filling. I mean, once again, I don't give a shit about the fillingness of the beer. I mean, chances are I'm at a barbecue and I'm just slamming beers left and right because it's hot as shit outside and I'm just trying to keep cool with a nice cold drink. So let's open this up and see what we got. Full disclosure, when it comes to drinking beer, when I go out to the bars, if I go to my favorite bar, I will drink Miller Lite primarily, because at the place I go to, it is $1.75 for draft, whereas to get Bud Light, where they only have it in bottles there, is $2.25, and I know I'm sounding like a cheap ass, but I mean that 50 cents adds up after a while. And usually if I go to that bar, I know I am either taking a bus or an Uber home, and I mean that 50 cents adds up to some free beers. So yeah, color is all about the same. Wow, this is by far the lightest smelling, almost no smell at all. I mean, it actually smells lighter than the Coors Light. So, you know what comes next? Time to taste it. Damn, that's good. Wow, tasting them side by side, I actually think that's lighter than Coors Light, but does have a bit of an aftertaste that, yeah, I mean, tasting these all side by side is really helping me realize how much I may not like some as much as the others. Yeah, it definitely has a bit of an aftertaste. Wow. I never realized that before. Maybe I just try to block it out. But still a damn good beer. I'm still going to buy it when I go to my favorite bar of choice. But, wow, side by side, so far I think this is honestly the worst of all the ones I've tried. I mean, to be brutally honest, wow, yeah. On to the next one. MGD, Miller Genuine Draft. Another old favorite of mine that I used to drink for quite a while. I don't know why, to be truthful. If I remember correctly, the taste isn't anything too spectacular. I think I always just liked the colors, like the gold packaging that would come with it, or even here, the gold can. But, you know what? Less talking, more cracking open cans. Ah, fuck. Spilled some there. This is the last one. Yeah, these have all pretty much had the same color so far. My pour technique is leading to a lot of head, but I just bought these, and they're probably bouncing around in the back of my truck quite a bit. So I'm going to blame them on probably being a little shaken is why there's head, and not have it be my fault. So, sniff test. Wow, almost identical to the Miller Lite. Practically nothing there to it. Alright, bottoms up. Wow. Dare I say that's definitely better than Miller Lite. So, this is kind of a good review for even me to see all these beers back to back and lined up one against the other. And, damn, that's good. Wow. So I actually really enjoyed that more than I thought I was going to. It had been a while since I had it, probably a couple months, where I've been kind of sticking with Bud Light regularly, but shit, that was good. Weird that it doesn't have the aftertaste that Miller Lite does, but really good, really like it. Although when all said and done, it's probably just my bias, but I think I'm going to have to go ahead and crown Bud Light the winner of this review. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do here is eventually I'm going to do a Canadian beer review, just because why the fuck not? And what I will eventually do is make a video that is the winners of all of these videos so far, side by side, all just like this and all the other videos, going down the line, and see who wins North America. So far, our contestants will be Bud Light. I do not have a Modelo available because the one I bought obviously was consumed in my last video. And then whoever wins the Canadian beer review will be thrown into that and made into its own video. So that'll bring us to the end of this video. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and if you want to, you can follow me on Facebook. Link to the Facebook page is in the description. Fun disclaimer, if we can get me to 100 subscribers, I will do a face reveal, and, but wait, there's more, like Billy Mays would say, I will do IPAs, and if you guys thought, after watching my budget beer review video, that I had some pretty good reactions to that, I absolutely fucking hate IPAs and think they are the worst thing ever created. So if you want to sit here and watch me go through 6 god-awful pieces of just sewer water IPAs, whore this video out, get me subscribers. But on the flip side of this whole thing, if you thought this video sucked and you feel no one should ever be subjected to watching this crap ever again, thumbs down, negative comment, and until next time, this has been the Bearded Thumb. Have a good one.